So let's get this started. Why is in the bottleneck, why there is the bottleneck in the C, in the closing? So this is just a symbol, but it's a great question because it gives me the chance to explain the theory behind the model. So the theory of constraints, is it called TOC, is a very helpful theory from somebody that was studying production. And now this is also the second question: can you give an example from operations and factory? Because this model TOC, theory of constraints, emerged from studying factories and where inefficiencies are in production processes. So the man who studied this is called Eliyahu Goldratt, and he wrote a series of books about his analysis and also his solutions and theory, the theory of constraints. The one which is, some of them are about factories and production, some of them are about project management and knowledge workers. So the one you might love is The Goal, das Ziel, The Goal. And it is written as a novel, which is very nice to read. I even heard the audiobook, it's done very well. And it explains exactly this bottleneck theory. It says, the theory of constraint, TOC, says, every output creation process, which means every value chain, has in every moment one bottleneck. And the one bottleneck is the single weakest part of the chain. And now, while many managers and many management consultants always go into raising the productivity of all the 5 fields, he went into the opposite direction and says, hey, let's wait a moment. Maybe if we do too much at once and we lose lots of energy and we are distracted. What if we make an analysis of the current value chain and then find the one bottleneck? And here, to answer your question, it's just a symbol. I did it at C, but the bottleneck will be in attract, in nurture, in closing, in delivery, in retaining at different points. So just make the X where the current bottleneck is, and I just had to do one as a symbol, and I put it in the middle because I thought it's aesthetically better to have that in the middle. But it's just a symbol. So you will have to find your value chain and to analyze what is the critical path. Critical path means it's the 20% of your activities that deliver 80% of the results and of the impact for the client. Now you go into the 20%, that's the critical path, and there is one bottleneck. In production, for example, a typical bottleneck is that if sales sells 5 more items to the customer, let's say 5 handrails, the delivery bottleneck is a very typical one where you say, I cannot produce 5 more in this week. So the bottleneck then would be delivery, when you say, okay, if 5 more items come in, I cannot deliver it, I cannot produce anymore, I have reached the limit of my production capacity. Then your bottleneck is in delivery, in D. I would make a cross there and then analyze with your team, okay, how can we solve this problem, which usually is a problem of processes and of writing down the processes both for sales and for production. So I would go and check the SOP, the standard operating procedures and the manuals, and rewrite them accordingly, because you have to systemize better. You have to simplify the chain and to systemize it so that it becomes scalable. Right now it's not scalable. You have a limit of what you can deliver. That's the bottleneck. And then in this theory, which is also the explanation of your questions about operations and factory, in this theory you would first solve that, which is writing down the systems, and then you would do everything else, which could be improvement of HR, improvement of machines, improvement of skills, whatever. You would not rank that as prior number 1 for this month. You would first solve the delivery problem, and then analyze, okay, which skills do the people need, or which instruments do the people need, or whatever else you want to improve. You would do it after the first bottleneck is solved. I hope this answers your question. Thank you very much, people. Whenever you have questions, just ask and we will be happy to deliver. It was a pleasure, and have a great day.
Entrepreneurial freedom is awesome. It's also a lot of hard work to get there. And when you are there, it's easy to lose your grip. Our community of 16,000 entrepreneurs is getting stronger and stronger every week because we amplify each other. We share what works and drop the rest. We test, refine, improve. Check strategysprints.com to build up your business and have fun doing it.